I think we're going, folks. Okay, so I thought it would be beneficial to talk a little bit about daily tasks. We were talking from the One Team One Mission. She was talking about, Cammie was talking about some of the ways to work the business daily, and we have a few people here. I know Steph and JoJo are new, but I think it's always good to have a refresher. So I wrote down a few things, daily tasks, like the must-dos. And the reason why this actually kind of struck me was because when Cammie said that her dad worked the business when she started one night a week, okay? And so that was a takeaway for some of us. And so, Brian, can you just jump on to make sure nobody's wondering where the link is at on Limitless? And I 100% agree with that. The only thing I don't agree with, not necessarily I don't agree with, I wanted to make sure that was clear, was making sure that our business is open every day. So does that make sense when I say that? I'm sure, Tiff, you know what I mean when I say that. So I wrote down some things that even if you are not working in your business every day, like if you're not actively pursuing leads, because I do believe that when Cammie said working her business every day, she means actively pursuing leads and asking. I know she would agree that it's really important that you still have to, if social media is what you're doing, how you're using your business, which I know for everybody on here, if you're on Facebook, that's a big part of your business, you still have to be on social media daily. You have to tell people that your business is open. So I just wanted to start there just because I just think that that's important. Because I know when I first started, I wasn't on social media ever. So that was a really hard thing for me. But I can tell you over time that if you're consistently daily, I mean, yes, if you have a day or two where you're on vacation, you're gone, you're at church, I get that. Like that doesn't happen. Not like this isn't like Nazi law here. But the idea is that if you are posting regularly on social media, that you that your business is open. That means that if you're still choosing that one night, if that's what is working for your schedule now, where you're choosing that one night to just bulk all of your other jobs and tasks and asking and messaging and relationship building, you still need to tell people that your business is open, because that's just really important. Okay. So does that make sense? Because I know, is Sarah on here? Was Sarah going to come? I know that was one of the things that she thought was super awesome to hear, which I love that that's like a practical tip for her. You know, she's not here, right?
She's not here yet. I just texted her and asked.
Okay. And so who else said that? Was it JoJo? Rhonda maybe? I can't remember now. But it's I think it's great. I think if you can pile on like your task, if that's what's making you going to help you work your business more, it is so much better to work it on one night and be focused on what you're going to do than not do it at all, right? Because otherwise we get overwhelmed. We just don't do it at all. But it's still very important, I think, to be consistent daily with having a presence so people at least know that you're there. That's what I will say about that. So when we are talking about social media posting, it should not all be about it works. I know you all know that, but talk about your life, talk about your business, basically thing. Something else to do, if you are having a hard time, guys, don't forget about the scheduling thing. You can schedule your posts. There's a lot of internet scheduling posts where you can write your post and it'll post to Facebook for you. I don't recommend that 100% because then Facebook might not show them to as much. However, another thing you can do is I recommend just writing your posts in your notes. Writing your posts in your notes so you have the words ready, because the hardest part usually is just coming up with I have it here actually. It's coming up with a with your words. And so what I do, I just write them in here, or I told you I save them. So have them ready so at least you know. So even if you are busy, it'll take you literally 15 seconds than if you know what you're going to write. So this is ways that you need to be consistent daily on social media at least. I told you. Are you laughing at me?
Trying to stay out of the screen, but I see myself in the screen.
Brian's just trying to take me. Okay.
No flirting during work.
We haven't seen each other in like a while. Okay.
You can get on your Zoom so then he can watch your eyes.
That's right. You nailed it.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm okay. So any questions about that as far as what I've said? If you guys have questions, just jump in and say, oh, what do you mean by this or whatever. There's Sarah. Hello. Okay. So other things that I think are must do. So whether you're doing, I think you do need to stay consistent on social media. Okay. Other thing. So here's some intentional things. What do I do? How do I work this business? How do I grow? The big thing is we get paid I say this, we get paid to be a good friend. It sounds ridiculous, but we do. You have to be relational. You have to be intentional. I say sometimes it goes as far as I get paid to be on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook the right way, you're getting paid to be on Facebook. All these people who are sitting on Facebook, if they were just spending their time being intentional with relationships and posting products, they'd be making money. Okay. So how do you start? So if you're just starting this business, a great thing to do is start with your friends list. And a lot of us, even if you look at your friends list, even me now, if I still have a huge untapped market of my friends list on Facebook. That's not even going out and reaching new people. Our Facebook list is considered a warm list. So if you go through and look at them all, think of how many people you've never asked if they use their app. You know they haven't used their app. They're in your market, okay? So start being relational with them, okay? That's important. It's wide open. Go like, go comment, go message. Likes are high fives. Comments are hugs. Go give people hugs and high fives. That's what we do, okay? We're good friends. Another tip is to, if you are just getting started, I know for me, when I first started the Facebook, I was a stalker first by very much. It wasn't that I wasn't on Facebook. It's that I just didn't post on Facebook. Oh, you bet I believe I was on Facebook. I just didn't post. I just looked at other people's things. So obviously, yes, we've talked about how it's important to share your life and share the products, be educational. What are the E's? Maybe somebody can help me. Is it educate, entertain, and
empower?
Empower. Good. Kaya, you get 100 points for the day.
I just read that.
Yes. So
Kaya.
I'm going to give you a sticker for being so good. It's a Post-it. This is for you.
Woohoo!
So whatever you're doing, so every time you post, you're doing one of those three things. Every time you talk to someone, you're doing one of those three things. So that's just keep those things in mind. You can kind of help you focus on what you're doing. But so we know you need to be posting. So before you post, okay, it's a 10-point game. Every single time you go on Facebook, you're not allowed to just scroll aimlessly. You're not allowed to just think about yourself and what you're going to post because it's more important for you to be relational. You need to do the 10-point game. What does that mean? This is just a way to get you thinking. Every comment is 2 points and every like is 1. So until you reach 10 points, you can't just scroll aimlessly. You can't just, or make it more if you want to be a little hard on yourself. But this is just going to get you to be intentional about every time you go on Facebook. So now when you're opening it up, you're not just going to find someone's story. You're going to go and build a relationship. Okay. So I wrote, stay away from mindless scrolling because instead of mindless scrolling, that time you could be using to being intentional and like working to make money. Because that's why we're here. Realistically, I know most of us are here because we are trying to make some extra money, right? And in the meantime, the cool part is that we get to just be a good friend in the meantime. I mean, truly, like think of how many connections, I know with those of you who've been here for a while, think of how many connections you've made in the last, how long, just from this business because you're being intentional. It's really fun. Okay. Think about Facebook as your office. That's kind of what I do. I think there's parts of a job. Everybody has a part of their job that they don't like, right? Whether you're a doctor, there's parts of their job they don't like. If you're a contractor, you might love your job. There's still things you don't like about it. You're a teacher. I love being a teacher. There's plenty of things I didn't like about it. There's going to be some things about this job that you're not going to like, okay? There just is. And I know when I first started, it uber stressed me out, the idea of posting on Facebook. I didn't like it at all. And I realized that I had to do it in order to be successful. And I've gotten better at it and I've gotten over that because we practice. So whatever it is in this job that you don't like, if you don't like asking, if you don't like posting, if you don't like building relationships, guys, this is what our job is. There's always going to be something. Learn to like it and find your way to do it. So that's kind of extra tip. So I'm going to stop here because I've been talking a lot. And I'm going to say, who else wants to share something or questions or anything so far?
Okay, well, I have a silly question.
Yep.
So, like, you said the warm market is your Facebook friends. But, like, as I'm scrolling through my Facebook friends tonight, there are so many people that I have not even connected with or, like, intentionally connected with in so long. So I feel like it would be my cold market to just, like, randomly message them.
Good point. Really good question. So we say Facebook is a warm market because just generally in Facebook, you at least know who the person is. Not always. Okay. I mean, there's plenty of people who friend people who've never heard before. Whereas Instagram, like what you do is you friend people on Instagram just because you think their profile looks cool, which is Facebook. It's generally, there's a connection made. Okay. Just
got it. Okay.
That's why we say Facebook is warm. However, like that, I would never just message someone about it works who I haven't made a contact from in a long time. I mean, learned the hard way, but you need to, like, your job then is to go, and I'll tell you what I do as far as system wise to keep that organized, is to go to his or her page and like and comment and start building that relationship up. Okay. You're something,
Okay.
oh, they just went to the Black Hills. You went to the Black Hills, you know, and then eventually there's going to be something that you can message about. Okay. Eventually,
Okay.
and that's your next step. Okay. And then because you're commenting, liking, they're going to be doing that back to you about your style. And maybe eventually they'll even start liking, commenting on your at works post. Not all the time. Eventually you're going to have to ask. But so I would, while they're technically your warm market, you just got to do some extra work. Like people from high school, right? When it was last
Right.
talk to them, and you're even college, because we're old and it's been a long time since we've been in college now. So, good question. Anybody else have questions, comments? Okay. I wanted to talk about just what I do specifically for my organization. I gotta find them. I'm so organized, I don't know where my lists are that I was going to show you. Okay. I have a couple of lists that help me stay intentional. Okay. First of all, the list, if you don't have one yet, you need to have a 100s list. Okay. And 100s list is just, when you start, it can be the people on Facebook, because you're going to be able to come up with 100 people there. If you don't have 100 friends on Facebook yet, that's your first goal. Your 100s list can be your doctor. It can be your mom's best friend. It should be anybody that you know. You don't have to, when you're writing your 100s list, don't be thinking, yeah, but I would never contact them. It doesn't matter. You put everybody on your 100s list, okay? And then we'll tell you what you do with your 100s list. But you write everybody down, you know. So for me, my 100s list it's my Facebook friends list. It's the people that I blitz. It's the people, you know, so the Aldi people, the TJ Maxx people, it's the people I've met at conference. It'd be Tiff's people from her bus that she met at conference. Those people would be on her 100s list. Okay, you get the point. 100s list is like we call it a working 100s list, because it's always changing, always morphing, always getting bigger. Okay, you're taking people off because they're becoming loyal customers. You're taking people off because they're joining your team. Your 100s list gets messy. I've done a completely different from time to time throughout my business, so it changes. Okay, and that's okay. Find a system that works for you. Have a 100s list. Okay. I have two other lists that I'm working with now that seem to be working for me. I have then a potential loyal customer list and a potential distributor list. Okay. So to me, these are a little bit different, because from my 100s list, I actually have one of the lists I'll tell you kind of, it's a little bit more specific. This is how it works in my brain. It doesn't need to work for you, but just kind of for an idea. Obviously, my potential loyal customers list, as I'm building relationships, as people might message me, say, hey, tell me about those wraps, or tell me about those hair, skin, nails. Or I've messaged them and say, hey, I saw you gave me some love in my last post. Are you interested in hearing more about the hair, skin, nails? We talk back and forth. They don't order. Okay, there's a lot of people who sit on the fence for a while, but they go right to my potential loyal customer list. So anybody who's a potential loyal customer, PLC, is somebody that we have already spoken about, it works about. They've asked about a product. They've showed me interest. That's my PLC list, okay? I'll tell you what I do with that. Obviously, my potential distributor list, these are people who I've talked to about the business, or maybe not, or they're on my dream team. They're my chicken listers, people who I want in the business with me, okay? So I have two lists. Now, what do I do? So obviously follow-up, Fortune is in the follow-up with this business. If I'm having a follow-up day, so a lot of times people have follow-up Friday, especially for potential loyal customers, because people get paid on Fridays.
Hey, Amy.
Yeah.
Sorry, quick question about your list.
Yeah.
Do you have your Instagram and your Facebook people on those same lists, or do you have separate lists?
To be completely honest, I just don't work Instagram well. I don't. I've gotten one distributor from Instagram when I was like focusing on doing that. And I think not saying I got lucky, but like, it's not like I asked a bunch and had a system and this is the one. Like, I think I asked one person and she happened to do it. I don't know what to tell you what I would do.
Okay.
Or do you have it together or separate?
Yeah, I don't have anything together, but that's what I've been focusing on, is trying to get it together. And so
For Instagram specifically?
And Facebook, like being more organized with that. So I actually created like a list that I've been texting.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. So there's a list of everybody who is in my phone. Because if they're in my phone, I'd rather text them than Facebook up, because Facebook, I've been in trouble with Facebook so many different times.
Yep.
And then like there's some of them who I've invited to like an online party, like different online parties that I've done. or that I've invited to my Makeover Mondays. And so then I'm writing little notes on the sides or like highlighting if they came or if they were interested but didn't show up, and then or if they said they'll come next month. And then I have a Facebook list. And then same with that, like just kind of making notes as I message them. Like, and then if I pitch them for the business or for my online party. But then I have a new friends list, like people, because my network keeps growing with different, like, school friends and FPU and different stuff like that. So trying to keep track of those people. So then I was going to do an Instagram list, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm already on 4 pages of people.
I know.
And I don't know, like.
Does anyone actually have any, like, legitimate followers on Instagram other than, like, family or other businesses?
I actually think I might have a few, but because I'm so, I focus so much. I work better in Facebook. But I actually think I have, because I've been watching people like add me, and I go to their profile and I'm like, they're actually not Shakeology. They're actually not, it works. And that's why I feel like I'm like failing Instagram. I know I am, because I'm like pouring it all into Facebook because that's what works for me. But what were you going to say, Leah? I called you Leah. Kaya.
Fine. It is my name. It's just my second name. I always get like, I have actual like legitimate people following me, but then I get the people that are like supporting entrepreneur businesses or, that kind of stuff.
That's annoying.
I just got a bunch of them this week, and I had to go and delete a bunch of them. I was like, this is annoying.
Yeah. Okay, so Lauren Casamitis, she's the 53 top earner. We got to hear her as a phone call once. Anyway, she says on Instagram, she works Instagram hard. She actually has a private Instagram account. She doesn't let any other It Works distributors see, which is smart. And it's private. She says she adds 100 people a day, every day on Instagram. And then would probably unfollow close to that much every day as well. So if they're not interacting with you, if you realize they're an entrepreneur, if you realize they're Shakeology, not necessarily, and then she unfollows them. So everybody she's doing is people that she's keeping up with. They're liking her stuff back. I just thought that was interesting, because I think if Instagram is your game, it's not, so don't really learn Instagram from me, please. But if Instagram is your game, that's how you win it. Like, it's by adding lots of people, because Facebook's not that way. Because Facebook, you have to have a connection. Instagram is cold. So you can get away with doing that. You can't on Facebook. So if you want Instagram tips, don't come to me, but I do know the name of the game is a lot of adding.
Have you unfollowed a bunch of people this year? Like, I know Tiff and Kaya and I talked that a bunch of people signed up Shakeology or Beachbody this year. Should I click unfollow temporarily on Facebook, or should I still try and seek those people out too?
So tough. Nobody's got the rap.
Right.
I have a couple of Beachbody loyal customers. I'd say use discretion, if that helps. I have unfollowed a lot of people. I try to be more specific. If I were really on top of Facebook, and I wish I was, if you haven't watched The Facebook Hustle by like Amber Parker, it's really good. It's about 30 minutes long, but it gives you crazy ways to be so intentional with Facebook. Basically, it would it just all of these lists that we're making, it would take them all away. It would all be within Facebook, because Facebook is pretty capable of organizing our list for us, because every person you can put into a category. So if they're my loyal customer, they're in the loyal customer list. If they're a distributor, they're a distributor list. Otherwise, everybody else is pretty much a potential loyal customer distributor. And so you're posting for them. Like, you wouldn't even need to have like a group page, because I can post to just distributors. Anyways, it's just a really
Is that on YouTube?
Yes, it would be Facebook Hustle Amber Parker. You just get a lot of tips for how to use Facebook, like for how it could be used. I don't know why did I say that? Sarah, what did you say? Oh, unfollowing people. Yeah, basically then if you find somebody, obviously the rule is it's never a no forever. That's why I would say don't count everybody off, because people are people and people change their mind. That's why this business you can't, because people aren't constant. If they were, we would be so good at this, because you can do everything right, but still not, do it. So, okay. What else, guys? I'll keep going unless you guys have more things. You guys have questions.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You were on the roll with your.
No, I was just saying my list, which is exactly what you were talking about, which is perfect. So I was saying I have my PLC list and my PD to how I follow up. the thing to know about follow-up, and I've said this before too, let's say Sheila's been asking about the wraps forever, and I just hate asking her, like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because that sounds bad. How do you follow up? You go to her page and you like and comment on her stuff. She maybe just forgot, so a great way to follow up isn't by just saying, hey, you ready to order? It's by just getting back in their head. Or because she's interested in those wraps, do a day or two where you post the wrap results, because I tell you what, then she's going to want them again. And let me tell you, I told you this before, you guys need to be posting before and afters. I've been having so much luck, and I told you this. I don't know why, probably because of all that Facebook algorithm stuff that came out whenever it came out. I got a little leery of before and after shots for a while, but I am back, and I try to do, I don't know, you need to be doing them once a day because make sure if you are making sure that you're doing your other stuff, because I've been having so much luck with them. People are private messaging me. I'm getting loyal customers because they see the wraps, and if you see them over and over again, those results, then they realize, you're right, dang it, I want these wraps. You're right, I want this stupid hair, skin, nails. That dang cleanse you keep posting about. Like, seriously, you got to do it. But make sure that you are posting other stuff. The other thing, if people go back and look at your pictures, because when you check someone's Facebook profile out, Instagram too, you look at the photos, go back and delete some of your old ones. That's fine. People are going to mostly see the ones that come up in their news feed. If they look at your photos and you're like, oh, shoot, I did like 3 before and afters, like within 5 posts, too much. Go delete a couple of them so it doesn't, when they go and see your highlights of all your pictures, you don't have a bunch of before and afters. That's okay. Go back from 5 days and go delete them because they've already done what they're going to do in your news feed. Okay, so it's fine.
Could you send some of like the stuff you write about the wrap? Like, you always have really good
save my post. I showed you the save post thing.
Are you okay if we use them and then change it slightly?
Yes, anytime.
Okay.
The only thing I will say, and I don't remember I told this to, is I don't care. You can use my exact wording anytime you want. Don't use it the same day for your sake and my sake, because Facebook will just flag it. I don't care if you use it. It's just
okay.
People can see if you use the same words, or picture, especially too, if it gets recycled. But wait a day or two, I don't care.
Perfect. Thank you.
How do you save a post?
Okay, so if you go to Facebook, I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna go into my what's this called when you see everything? Timeline. Okay, so you see I'm going to, and I see this post from, let me just find one that would make sense at all to save. Whatever. This girl named Evelyn. She has this picture and it's words and it's so cool, and I just really want it for someday. I click in this top corner. There's a drop down arrow. Save post. That's
awesome.
It. Now watch this. You guys, I would be lost if I didn't have this. This is where I get my posts from almost all the time. I've put in a lot of work writing posts over the last 3 years. Yes, I have to write new ones still, but I tell you what, I use my wording. I use other people's wording. I've done so many on the cleanse, so many on the wrap, so many on the greens, the probiotic. So now I go into here and saved. Here's that one I just saved at the top, but here's all my other ones I actually went through. I know I shared this last time, but you can search all your old posts. So I typed in the top up here, I simply just typed my post from January 2016. I could see all my posts from January 16. I just typed in my posts about probiotic. All my probiotic posts just came up. I want to do a probiotic post this week. I was like, sweet. I remember when I did one, I was trying to find that one where I talked about how you can have a probiotic or you can eat a bunch of rotten food like sauerkraut. And I was like, where was that one? So I was like, search for probiotic and it brought it right up. I could find it. So now I went in there, I found it. It's in my save posts. I'm going to get a new picture someday of myself in the probiotic, whatever it is, and post it. I do recommend getting new pictures because people will remember pictures. I'm a visual person. I would remember if someone posted, if it was a picture that was pretty flashy or whatever. Again, pictures of yourself, they should be pleasing to your eye. Not pictures of yourself. Pictures of yourself should look really good. Pictures in general should be pleasing the eye. So if you need to do a little bit of edit to make the lighting good, don't do dark, grainy, foggy pictures. I know you all know that. Take a picture of yourself, even if half of your face, your arm, whatever is in it is going to be better than just the graphic from It Works website. Okay. List how we follow up with people. Same with, so the reason why these lists are so great, okay, there's a BOGO on wraps. Now I can go through all the people I know who've been interested in the wraps. You could go so far as to see on your potential customer list what they've been interested in. or you could always go back in messages. I haven't wrote that. Usually I remember what they're interested in, but that way you can go back. Some people I know even have a BOGO list. So they know who to send to BOGO. But same with potential distributor when you have the BOGO wraps for the BBK kit, then you know. So the other couple lists that I've just kind of started basically is exactly what Tiff has. I have Wellness Wednesdays and I have online parties. Okay, I have a Wellness Wednesday list and I have an online party list. These people from these lists, where do they come from? My hundreds list. Guys, your hundreds list is everything. Okay, if you just have a hundreds list for now, that's fine. Okay, figure out how your hundreds list works. Your hundreds list, you might take your hundreds list and then use Facebook to do the rest of the organizing. You might, whatever you do, but you have to have a working hundreds list. So from my hundreds list and the new people I meet, that's how I figure out who I'm going to continue to invite to my Wellness Wednesdays. Online parties should be huge. I think between our team, I mean, at least once a month, we could be having a team, you know, whether you're doing it with Tiff, whether you're doing it with me, or you want to do it yourself. Like we could be doing, you know, an online party, then you can invite anybody. So anybody that you're meeting, like you should always be building new relationships. You should always have somebody new you can invite, somebody who said they couldn't make it last time, touch back with them. I mean, it's a huge way for follow-up, you know? Okay, so I have that. And I also now have a list of people who can't make it on Wednesdays. So we need to pick another day of the week. But I have that down here. We haven't done that yet, but we need to pick a day. So we talked about the daily must-dos. You got to be posting daily because you have to keep your business open. That's all you're doing is saying that your business is open. That's kind of like just what you're doing. And you're finding your posts. You can look at mine. You can look at Tiff's. You can look at anybody's on here. Share them. Find some good words. Go follow a couple other Ambassador Diamonds. Keep your business open. That's huge. Be relational every time you're getting on Facebook. You're liking, commenting, being a good friend. You're being intentional every time you're on. Remember, you're not just scrolling. You have your hundreds lists. You kind of have a few tips on how to work them and how to message from them. Now, if you're just starting again, your Facebook list is full of people that you haven't talked to yet, okay? If you've been here for a while, you're kind of like, okay, I need some new people. I need some new fresh leads. And we should always be growing that. How do you do that? Go to Facebook groups, okay? So I'm in a group, a mama group. I'm sure a lot of you are in one just like this. So people just post about mom problems or whatever. And so the other day, someone posted about, what was it? Something that I felt like I could really relate to. Oh, they had high blood pressure before baby. I was on bed rest for Brooke. So of course I'm going to comment on that. And I always send a private message and I say, hey, whatever, my daughter was blah, blah, blah. I tell the story, ask questions, get to know them. So now I've added her as a friend. We've made a connection. That is a great way to meet new friends. Hey, JoJo, you just heard how we met.
Yes, I did.
That's what I did with JoJo. I was wondering where to bring Brooke to gymnastics.
Yep.
I asked in the moms group because I know because I knew there was moms in the area, and so she gave me advice on that. And then when she posted about wanting to work from home, guess what? We already had a relationship. It was perfect.
Yep, it did. It worked out. It was like a perfect match.
It really was. Okay, and then another way, find some mutual friends. So go to your friends from high school, college, whatever you want to do, find some friends and see mutual friends. Like, oh yeah, I know this person, but we're not friends yet. But you know them, send them a message. Hey, remember when we used to hang out? Are you doing a video right now? Tiff is totally taking a picture. You little stinker. And she's quiet, so we can't even hear her because she's muted.
Sorry, totally taking a picture. Keep going. You're fine.
Obviously that's how you add to your hundreds list. Mom's activities, library visits, classmates, parents, church, whatever. That's how you add to your hundreds list. Okay. And if you can't figure out how to add new people, talk to one of us. We'll help you. But right now, if you're just starting, you have a lot of people that you can go and build relationships with. This is
Kira, you put a shirt on.
And I'm about to fall asleep. Yes, sorry. It's been a rough 2 days.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already past a half hour.
No, you're fine. You do
Okay.
your thing.
Okay. The other thing I was going to say, this is big. The big thing about working your business is you have to have, you have to know what you're striving for. If you just say, I'm going to see how much I work today. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's not how you really run a business. You can't go to work and your boss, how much can you get done? You know, you have to get things done. So we are our own bosses. You can have a goal, whatever you set. It can be to only do this much, and that's fine. But if you don't tell yourself how much you're going to do, chances are you probably won't do much. So what that means is have a number. How many people are you going to add to your market a day? How many people are you going to message in a day? If you're not doing this daily, if you chose this is going to be one night a week kind of thing, pick that night a week and say, okay, this is my night a week. This is where I'm going to be doing my messaging. This is my relationship building. I'm going to do this I'm going to make sure I have 10 new friends, 20 new friends, and I'm going to send out 15 messages, okay? Have that number, because if you aren't doing it the other days of the week, focus in on that time. So have a number. You can't just say, I'll just work tonight and I'll see. I mean, this goes for if you're doing it daily or if you're doing it weekly goals. You have to have a number, because you just have to. I mean, I guess maybe that's just my personality. That's how I feel. But then be intentional with them. So have that number. Okay, here's the last thing. I think it was last. I have a couple of things. I'm going to go fast. Remember, guys, posting is not asking, okay? So you've built relationships. You're messaging about relationships. You're messaging about their trip. You're liking and commenting. You're doing the post. That is great, but you have to learn how to ask. And asking is the part that seems scary, but remember, you're building a relationship, and you're just asking people if they want to be interested. You're not telling them to buy your stuff. You're asking them if they want more information. You're maybe asking them if they want to learn more at your come to your Wellness Wednesday event. You're asking them if they're interested in trying a wrap for free. They can say no, and that's fine. You're still a good friend. You can tell them it's okay to say no. You can say no pressure. You can say, I love these products. If you'd like to hear more, I'd love to tell you, but you have to learn how to ask. I say, so here's what I ask. I ask if they want to learn more. I ask if they want to meet up. I ask if they wanted to come to a Wellness Wednesday. I know Tiff has Monday night makeovers. Ask them if they want to come to that. Ask them to meet on one-on-one for a play date. Ask them if they want to wrap free. Host some friends over. Ask them if they want to come to an online event. You have a lot of things you can ask. You don't have to ask one thing for every person. So when you're getting to know people, you can kind of learn what it is you want to ask. Okay? Remember, this is a numbers game. So it truly is going to come down to, yes, we be good friends, and yes, we talk to people, but if you don't talk to enough people, it's just not going to work. So, and if they say no, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity. Okay? With asking, this is what I always need to remind myself. So I'm talking to myself here with all this. With asking people, you have to have a number. Otherwise, you're going to come up with an excuse why you're not going to ask somebody. If you feel like there's nobody you can ask, it means you're not building enough relationships throughout the week or throughout whatever. So if you feel like, I don't feel like I have the right to ask somebody yet because I just feel like you'd just be not right, well, be building more relationships. Tiff, what were you going to say? I can tell you're going to.
Yeah, so is that you have to have a number of how many you're going to ask, or how many people you're going to get committed to an online party or to your Wellness Wednesday? Or
I guess I would say just ask the question. So moving past just a relationship. So I think it's important that you are intentional, and even if you have to give yourself a number for this is how many people I'm going to make sure I'm intentionally thoughtful with. That's not asking, okay? Have the number of this is how I work my business. But then moving at that step further, having the number, this is how many people I'm going to ask about Wellness Wednesday, just wanting more information, joining my team, coming to my online event, whatever that number is that you have. I guess for me, it would just be asking, because asking is like the next step. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So then what about, how do you, like with all your lists that you have going, how do you stay on top of those? Because don't you go through and like look at their pages, their personal pages, and connect with them that way too?
Yep, that was my next list I was going to tell you. This one was I was going to, I do have one extra list, and this is also, I just asked some people how they do the hundreds list, and it kind of makes sense with what I do. Her name is Tiffany, what's her name? Anyways, Tiffany Turner. She says that she pulls out a target group for a month, okay?
Got it.
So the target group would likely be, for you, Tiff, especially, and for me, anybody who's still building their market, the newest people you bring in. Okay.
So like my new friends list.
Yep, your new friends list. That would be your target group, because the people who you're most recent, it's like, there's like a study that if you most recently talk to them about the sale, they're the most recent ones to buy than the ones you talked to 3 months ago. Just the way it is. So the most recent ones you've had friends with, those are the ones that you should be building a relationship on. Again, if you have a bunch of new people, like, just that's who your market is. But so she says she pulls out a target group of people. So on Facebook, you can actually put the star to see first. So that's a way Facebook helps you do that. Otherwise, my intentional thoughtfulness is this. In my back of my list is my more intentional thoughtfulness, because those are my newest friends. So when I'm like, okay, relationship time, go, I go to my intentional thoughtfulness. This is people from my hundreds list most recently added. And then from there, they turn into people on your online event. They turn into Wellness Wednesday. They turn into people, PLCs or PDTs. Like, if I know that it's not like set in stone. It's not science. It doesn't work like a science math for me, every single person. But if we're doing this in a way that we're building relationships consistently and regularly, they should go to one of those lists pretty quick, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
And then for somebody who's looking for something organized, I don't do this like this, but I know when I heard this, it was really made a lot of sense for me. Have a day of the week for specific things that you do. Here's an example. I wrote one down just because I know for me getting examples. Mondays you follow up with LCs. That's what you do. Okay. Knowing that, member, every day you're posting about your business, keeping it open. But if you need something to do, Mondays, you're following up with your LCs. And remember, every time you go on Facebook, you're building a relationship. So don't think you're getting out of doing the 10-point system, because you don't get to go on Facebook unless you earn 10 points. Okay. But Mondays is loyal customer. Tuesdays maybe is your day that you're doing your intentional relationships. So maybe you have 20 people that you're going to send out relationship messages to. Here's why this is good. If you do that on one day, which is why, Sarah, I thought it was cool if you do it on one day, because guess what? That's going to provide and create work for you the rest of the week. Because if you're sending out a group of messages, you're going to be interacting with those for the rest of the week. And that's just building relationships. Eventually, some of those could turn into leads because they could then ask you because you're posting about it throughout the week. But it's kind of nice if you have a certain time we're sending on a bulk amount of messages, just a relationship, because then it gets you with something to do throughout the rest of the week. Does that make sense, Sarah?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
Yeah. So example, okay, Mondays, LCs, follow up. Tuesdays maybe is your big relational message day. Wednesday is your ask day. Okay. Remember, that's different than regular. That's your ask day. These are people you've already been in a relationship. These are people who have liked your posts. These are people that you're ready to ask one of those questions to. Okay. That's maybe your ask day. Have a number. Thursday maybe is you're adding new friends. So maybe this is the day you're really going out to searching to add people to your friends list. Maybe this is the day you're, looking for new friends, or if you're starting, this is the day that you're going out and starting relationships with people you haven't in a long time, whatever. I like Fridays as a follow-up day just because people get paid on Fridays. It's a good way to go to your list. You're going to your PLC list and you're like, okay, time to follow up with these people. Could be just through messaging them. I think we're going to cut it off in a second. If we do, I can't do anything. That means they're kicking me off. Okay. Anything else? The other thing, make sure you're doing personal development. Okay. Are we gone? Oh, it's just scrolling fast your name across the top. Whoops. Questions?
I have a question about giving away free stuff.
Yes.
So at the One Team, One Mission, Cammie was like, we don't give away free wraps because they're basically so wonderful. And one is a treat, and it sounds like she tries not to just sell them individually because 4 is the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still give free wraps away or like contests to like get people interested?
I still do.